Hello and welcome to Odds on Euro Qualifiers Match Day 10. Last match day, some things still to be decided, especially Dani on Monday. Today we have Ukraine, Italy. What is the feeling?
That we cannot let it happen again, and this is a massive game. Is a very tricky one. I mean, we are confident in the sense that we need 2 results out of 3, but it's not going to be easy.
Well, for instance, Kazakhstan could be also in the Euros, playing on Monday against Slovenia. Moldova even have options, playing in Czech Republic. So a lot of things to be decided. We have Alvaro, we have Dani Fisichella to analyze with us the most interesting games on Monday and on Tuesday. So guys, let's not waste any time. In the meantime, of course, press the like, subscribe, and now let's go on with the show. And remember, if you are still looking for a bookmaker to sign up with, we have an exclusive offer with 1xBet, 130% thanks to Oddspedia. Use our promo code Oddspedia. YouTube, well, there is a lot of controversy and a lot of talks about the necessity or the need of playing this kind of games, because we saw, for instance, France, Gibraltar, 14-0. Gavi getting injured, Vinicius getting injured, but there are some important things to be decided. And the tension and the big game is on Monday in Leverkusen. We have Ukraine, Italy. Dani, Italy with a draw. They are in the Euros, but of course, in the recent history, you had bad experiences. Luckily for Italy, they beat Macedonia. I don't know how nervous were you when Macedonia scored the 3-2.
More annoyed than nervous, I must say, because it was a little bit of self-inflicted pain. Italy switched off after the 3-0. They thought they were home and dry. Spalletti made a few substitutions to save the legs for the Ukraine game. Yeah, and the 2 goals were stupid. The second one is a massive deflection from Acerbi anyway. But
yeah, and what about the Chiesa goal?
What about the Chiesa goal? It's deflected as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's a better strike than the one of the Macedonia goal, who strikes it almost from North Macedonia and wrong-footed. No. But credit to Italy for no. But in fact, I said I was annoyed. I'm not saying that. Credit to them. I was annoyed with the way they conceded the goal.
Okay.
Good offensive display from Italy against North Macedonia, because even after conceding the stupid 2 goals, they went back, scored other 2, and I think the selection of the team is a bit bolder this time from Spalletti. We've seen it in the last 2-3 games. He's paying off. Chiesa has been very effective. Juventus fans might wonder why doesn't he play that way with Juve, because they play a different system, and this one suits him a little bit better. Even Jorginho has another penalty miss, the 4th penalty miss in a row, but he's been really important in midfield. You could really feel his presence. He was good at getting the team to take over. Barella gave 2 assists. The issues, yes, with Italy are at the back. Only 2 clean sheets in the group, only against Malta, and they play with this back line of 4. 3 Inter players in the back line against North Macedonia, but none of them was perhaps in their best position, because Di Marco is more of a wing back, Darmian maybe is a centre back or wing back, not a right back, although he scored it well. Acerbi didn't look extremely comfortable next to Gatti. The good news is that Di Lorenzo is going to come back from suspension in place of Darmian. A few changes for this game against Ukraine. Frattesi, Politano, Scamacca will all start. But let's talk about Ukraine for a bit. Ukrainian football, Ukraine as a nation, has defied the odds, has defied the destiny for the last 18 months. They've done it really well in the qualifiers. They've done it really well up to the World Cup playoff, where they should have gone to the World Cup, and they were unlucky, really, because they played 3 days before against Scotland, beat them, went to Wales. Hennessy made the game of his life, didn't go. Look at what Shakhtar did against Barcelona, what Shakhtar did last year, holding Real Madrid into the Champions League, and it's a good side. It's a fit side, it's a young side, and you got the likes of Sikanov, Sudakov, Mudrik. They're gonna play behind. Dobvik already scored 7 goals for Girona. They still have chances, by the way, Ukraine, to finish in the playoff. They're either gonna be in path A or in path B, but this is gonna be a little bit complex. But they got such a good record at home, Ukraine, unbeaten in 14 home games since October 2020, including when they played abroad, and the last qualifier game they lost was in October 2017 at home, 2-0 against Croatia. In terms of home losses, it's gonna be tough. Italy needs a draw. Will they get a draw? Well, I hope so. I doubt they're gonna go there and smash them and win comfortably. I think I cross everything I can possibly cross. By the way, if Italy loses, they go into the playoff path A, but I don't want to even think about it. Both to score for me, 189.
Okay, you see both teams scoring. We have Andrejos, Ukrainian follower. So tell us your tip, Andrejos, or your feeling for this key game as objective analyst. Alvaro, not Italian, not Ukrainian, like Andrejos.
No.
What do you think about this game?
Well, I think that remembering the lucky goal of Ukraine without remembering the lucky goal of Chiesa, it's very, very one-sided, Daniele.
It's not lucky. It's a deflection. Italy.
Chiesa's goal too.
Yeah, but Italy just missed the penalty. They were worth the 2-0, 3-0.
Okay, I
it's
think
no
that Italy was. I
comparison.
watched the game. Italy was better in the first half, definitely more clinical. I didn't like the way they defended the lead in the second half. Raspadori's goal was oxygen for the team because you needed one more goal. 4-2 in the 80th, 81st minute was very important. But I really think that this is far from over. Italy needs a draw to qualify straight for the Euros. Ukraine needs a win. And I never thought that they would say something like this because it sounds super superficial. But Ukraine hasn't lost at home since the war started. And they've been good away from their home, even though it says on paper that they are playing as a home team. They are not, and yet they are competing. And I think that we tend to believe that Dynamo Kiev and Shakhtar Donetsk, they are the main feeders and providers of the Ukraine national side. But I really believe that Shakhtar Donetsk has made the difference over the last 10 years over Dynamo. I mean, the best players have come from Shakhtar, generally speaking, not only the best foreign players, but also the best homegrown players. I think so. Even though I have to give my kudos to the players from Girona or to Zinchenko and some other footballers who have excelled for the national side. But the good Ukrainian side right now is Shakhtar Donetsk, and that's why they are giving most of the players to the national team. And Shakhtar Donetsk beat Barcelona in the Champions League. And I think that Italy, I really want to see them play without the shadow of the elimination behind their backs, because I think that they have had some sort of hysteria lately in the qualifiers because they have seen themselves behind, but they have never played the football that they played in Euro 2020, for example. And maybe after they qualify, finally they can play without the pressure of the failure behind them, because they are obliged to qualify for the Euro, but they are not obliged to win the Euro. So maybe after that in the Euro they play good football. But so far I think that Italy is far from composed, and I think that as soon as they concede the goal, they get very nervous. And it happened against Ukraine again. So my bet here is that I think that Italy will qualify for the Euros, but at the same time, Ukraine is not going to be defeated in a heavy way, not at all. So somebody in the comments is recommending the same odds I'm recommending here. Asian handicap plus 0.75 for Ukraine, 177. I really like this one.
All right, Ukraine, Asian handicap 0, for instance, for Salim. Italy to win by 1 goal by programming for dummies. Well, tough game, this one, to bet on this Ukraine-Italy. Danny was saying that Italy has a problem in the back, and they've conceded 9 goals in this road to the Euros. I think it's unthinkable in the previous Italies that we knew they were going to defend well, but this is another Italy, and they have to play in Leverkusen to qualify for the Euros.
It's not about just defending well, it's about the mechanism. They are learning a new way of playing with Spalletti. We have seen the signs already, but pressing, distances between midfield and defense, it takes a bit of time, but we need to get the basics right. I agree with you. Yeah, of course, if we take the lead, we can't just concede stupid goals.
Well, Ukraine, Italy with a draw, they are in the Euros. Ukraine need the victory. If we go to Group H at the very same time, 8:45, we have Slovenia, Kazakhstan. Again, Group H, and here Kazakhstan need to win in Ljubljana to be in the Euros. Pride to Kazakhstan, to be honest, Alvaro, because we are in match day 10. And they are still with options to play the first major tournament in their history. They beat San Marino. This is no news, but recently they win in Finland to have options in this last day. Slovenia, usually they are good at home. 3 victories, 1 draw in this road to Germany. They even beat Kazakhstan 2-1 away in the first match day. I think it would be a huge, huge surprise if Slovenia don't win even this game.
Well, if Slovenia doesn't qualify, it would be a surprise for me. But if they don't win, it wouldn't be so much of a surprise because Slovenia can do with a draw. They just have to avoid defeat against Kazakhstan, and perhaps at some point they are happy with the draw. But if they don't play in the Euros, that would be surprising for me personally. Because not because Slovenia is a great side, but because in the group stage it looks like they had it there under control. But the truth is that if you dig in a little bit, you will see that yes, Slovenia beat them 2-1 in the reverse fixture. But since then, Slovenia got 16 points and Kazakhstan got 18. So after that head-to-head, Kazakhstan has been a better side, and Kazakhstan knows that they will qualify if they beat Slovenia. And if they fail to win, they will be anyway confirmed in the playoffs. But I don't think that they are thinking about that in the same way that I don't think that Ukraine is thinking about the playoffs right now. They are thinking about this game, and they are thinking about qualifying as soon as they can. When it comes to Slovenia, I think that the difference between them and Kazakhstan mainly is that the Slovenia squad has a few starts playing in the Big 5 leagues. Jano Black, we know Sporar, we know Benjamin Sesko, who has scored 4 goals in the qualifier, whereas Kazakhstan, well, they got only 5 players from their current squad who play outside of the country, and none of the players who play abroad play in the big leagues. That means, anyway, that perhaps we don't know those players that much, but they have been competitive in the qualifiers. And for example, I know that Taunid Dov, which is their best probably player abroad in Besiktas, is out for this game. But in Betov, Kuat, they've been scoring threats. Also, Sesnikov scored a couple of really nice goals against San Marino too. And they've got a challenge there to play for the first time as an independent country the Euro. And the challenge is only 1 win away in Slovenia. I don't think it's impossible, and they are more or less where they want to be. When it comes to Slovenia, they have to avoid defeat. That's all. Look, this game for me, it could be almost a pass, personally, because I think the money is somewhere else rather than here. But I like, for example, a draw, it pays 4.33, and Slovenia can do with 1 draw. And also Kazakhstan to score over 0.5 goals. That pays 191. Nice. Kazakhstan is scoring 1 goal or more.
Well, Kazakhstan so far they are not well. They've scored 15 goals actually, so it's a good tally in this group. Where also Finland had chances until not long time ago. It's been a very level group, Danny, with Denmark at the end topping the group because actually they beat Slovenia in the previous match day.
This was the real group of death because every team has lost at least 1 game, which didn't happen in any other group. So let's try to work out a little bit the permutation for the playoff. Kazakhstan, if they don't win, they will be in the playoff. They will be in Path C if they don't win, and they will play away to Greece, and then the winner of Georgia, Luxembourg. If Kazakhstan wins and qualify, then it will be Azerbaijan in Path C of the playoff. So it will be Georgia, Azerbaijan, Greece against Luxembourg in Path C. So that's how the draw opens up. Slovenia will not be in the playoffs, so of course they need the results. And I like the bet of Alvaro, the goals from Kazakhstan, because Kazakhstan have scored in every single game, but when they lost 1-0 to Finland, it is true they lost 3 games, Slovenia, Finland, and Denmark, but they've been really competitive. And looking at some of the players that play for Kazakhstan, the majority of them play for Astana, who's the champion of Kazakhstan. It is a team that qualifies every year for one European competition of a sort. At the moment, they are second in their Conference League group. They've been through the Champions League qualifiers, they've been through the Europa League qualifiers, then in the end they drop out in the Conference League. And we could argue that creating this new competition like the Conference League is helping nations like Kazakhstan and their players to get a little bit more experience of international football. That's why they become a little bit more competitive. Against Denmark, Slovenia were a little bit off the pace, only one effort on target, which was the goal. Denmark dominated the game, but let's see if they go out on the attack a little bit more, maybe with Sesko and Sporar, who didn't play against Denmark, if they need to get a little bit more goals. But, credit to the manager. Mathias Kerk has been head coach since 2018 to qualify Slovenia for a major tournament after such a long time. I think is a good achievement. But they don't score many goals. So I'm going to go for Kazakhstan Asian handicap plus 1.25, which pays 178, which means if Kazakhstan gets defeated by 1 goal, you still win half a stake. More than 1 goal margin in the defeat, you lose. Draw, of course, you win the full stake.
All right, you both see this game as a tight one. Andrios is going here for both teams to score. Andrios, by the way, Danny, optimistic about this Ukraine.
But he must be. Look, but Andrios, I wish Ukraine would qualify via the playoff because I think they deserve it. And as I mentioned before, I think they deserve to go to the World Cup 12 months ago. Yeah, they deserve it. Let's see where they end up in Path C, Path A. But yeah, I think they look a strong squad.
Next game, same time, same mathematics. Group E, we have Czech Republic, Moldova, and here we have Albania qualified, and then Czech Republic 12 points, Poland out of the World Cup right now, going to the playoffs, 11, and Moldova with 10. So if Moldova win here, they will be in the Euros. Czech Republic with a draw. They are in Germany. They got a draw in Poland with Souček scoring the goal. Actually, also Souček scored the winner against Faroe Island. But Danny, Czech Republic, they are far from being informed lately. Only 1 victory in the last 5 games. They are not scoring enough. And again, Moldova winning this game will be a huge, huge surprise. The first time for them in a major tournament.
That'll be a great story as well. Only 1 defeat in the last 9 games for Czech Republic, by the way. But yeah, they don't score enough goals. Only 9 goals scored. It's not amazing in a group that was probably one of the weakest or the most leveled. You got Moldova, Faroe, Albania, Poland. Yes, not score enough goals doesn't really bode well. The reverse fixture, by the way, finished 0-0, whereas for Moldova, they all scored in the last 6 games, did well against Albania, who, by the way, qualified, and I think this is probably one of the major surprises and stories of these qualifiers. We talked about their length.
Let me tell you the biggest surprise is Serbia.
It's finishing second, yeah, of course.
No, Serbia qualifying. Because when I was doing my research,
the first time,
I was thinking, all right, the big surprise has to be Romania. But Romania played the Euro in 2016.
Yeah, true.
Serbia hasn't played the Euro since 2000. It's incredible.
But you would expect Serbia to qualify at some point, considering the group. Whereas Albania, you would have put it perhaps behind Czech Republic and Poland. But yeah, I agree with you.
Poland already gave me a very bad feeling in the World Cup. They are
but anyway, Moldova will probably top it up. If Moldova and Kazakhstan go to the Euros, I think they will top it up in terms of scored or of surprises. They don't get beaten a lot. Moldova really they got beaten 2-0 by Albania, 5-0 by Romania last year, and in the last 2 years they only got beaten 4-1 by Austria if you look at big scores. So obviously they have improved. Only scored 7, conceded 7. They have got goal scorer. Nicolaescu plays for Herenveen, scored 4 goals already in these qualifiers. But in the last 2 years, in 13 games away, Moldova have only beaten away Liechtenstein, Latvia, and Faroe. They need to go to Czech Republic and get the 3 points. That makes you understand how hard it is, how difficult it is for Moldova to go there. On the other hand, the Czech Republic, yes, needs a win, could do with a draw. Under 2.75 goals for me. That pays too.
I was going to tell Alvaro, actually, that this could be easily an under. Moldova, 7 goals scored, 7 conceded. Czech Republic, they are not scoring a lot, only 9 goals scored. So perhaps this is a low scoring game with a 1-0 victory or something like this for the Czech Republic.
Yeah. To be honest with you, this game, again, I think that it's down to the local side, to the Czech Republic, and to the home side. If they do all right, they're going to be in the Euros. I mean, they just need to avoid defeat, and it depends on what the game plan is. Whether they go full on and they try to score very early against Moldova and then seal it like this, or if they want to speculate a bit more and go for the draw, perhaps, or take it easy, defend well, play with as many defenders as possible with a defensive mind. For me, this is the big question. What's the approach by the Czech Republic in this game? Because Moldova, they have to go at it and they have to attack. And if they win, they qualify. This is, like Kazakhstan, a very, very big thing. Because Moldova has never been in a major tournament. At the end of the day, Kazakhstan, as an independent country, they have never played a big tournament. But Moldova, same thing happens, but they are smaller. It's a long time that Sheriff Tiraspol doesn't play in the Champions League, or is not dominant, or doesn't hit the headlines either. It's quite impressive, really. That's why, for example, Moldova to score a goal pays so much. It pays 215, which is a lot. Kazakhstan to score a goal, remember, it was like 190. Moldova to score 1 goal, 215, and they've been scoring away. The run of Moldova is really impressive because before summer 2022, they have lost 19 consecutive games away. But since summer 2022, they have won 3 games away, they have had 3 draws, and they have suffered only 2 defeats. It's quite incredible, the turnaround, really. But I still believe that the Czech Republic are going to make it. It's not going to be easy because Moldova only suffered 1 defeat. It was against Albania. And we cannot forget either that Moldova hasn't got all their points against the weak sides, like the Faroe Islands, for example, because against the Faroe Islands, they only got 4 points. They got 4 points against Poland, for example. This is quite impressive. But anyway, I'm going to back the Czech Republic. In these cases, I always back the stronger side. So, Czech Republic to win and over 2.5 goals, which is something that goes a little bit against what you say they do, because I think that the Czech Republic, as soon as they score the first, they can actually feel they have the confidence to go for more. 185. Czech Republic to win and over 2.5 goals, 185. Otherwise, Moldova to score a goal, 215. It's a lovely one.
And when you see sorry, Edu, when you see certain things and when you see this kind of permutation, it goes back to the argument we was mentioning before at the beginning of the video, why you need the competition and the qualifiers to stay this way. I am a big advocate of the qualifiers. I don't like the argument, Gibraltar got trashed for 14-0, Faroe or Liechtenstein never win, we need to exclude them. I think they should stay. We need to give, the UEFA needs to give the opportunity for smaller nations to get better, and they are getting better. If you look at the results and if you look at the way some teams are progressing, they are getting better. So let's give it the opportunities. The Nations League has been a very good invention, and he has allowed teams like Moldova, teams like Kazakhstan, even San Marino, I know they lose, but they keep scoring to get better. So let's keep it as it is.
Well, there are many clubs that wouldn't agree with you, Danny, seeing the list of injuries that we are having again in another international break, having already.
And that's nonsense. That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
I am 100% with Danny here.
I think it's nonsense also the calendar, like breaking up the calendar every month.
Yeah, but why is the international football the one to be blamed for this? I think that the club football and international football both have to be blamed for this. And I just disagree very much with the bad reputation that international football is getting. I mean, go and speak to Montenegro, go and speak to Serbian today, to Serbian people today, and they will tell you that they love international football. Or Hungarians after Soboslai's displayed yesterday. I think that international football is also very nice, and we have to protect it as well. We have to protect the players, but reducing the games in the club football and international football, not only international football. That's the way I see it.
Maybe in another schedule, but well, this is another thing. By the way, Poland, they are going to the playoffs playing against Estonia in the semi-finals, path A. And let's
Estonia, who by the way, only got 1 point in the group. 1 point in the group. They could still go to the Euros by only having 1 point in the group. So that goes to show that if you introduce pre-qualifiers, it just, Estonia would never make there. So you need to keep it as it is.
And let's move on to the games we have on Tuesday. Group D. Here, Croatia still needs to qualify. And our next game is Croatia, Armenia. They were able to beat Latvia, scoring 2 goals in the first 10 minutes after the horrible break they had in October. So, if there are no surprises, Alvaro, Croatia beats Armenia and they are in the Euros.
Yes, they are. And I'm going to back Croatia here. It's true. In October, they were bad. And the results put them in a very difficult situation because they lost against Turkey, something that I didn't expect. And then they lost against Wales. Fortunately for them, they played a few days ago and they beat Latvia 2-0. And I think that I'm going to keep the same logic that applied to this game. I think Croatia is going to win 2-0 here. The Armenians are playing for nothing this time. We have to remember that. Armenia are out. And Croatia will qualify if they win against Armenia or if Wales doesn't beat Turkey. But I think that Croatia will do the job here. Armenia have been okay in the qualifying. They were also okay in the World Cup qualifying a few months ago. But I think that Croatia is a better side. The other day, they won 2-0. And I do believe that they can go through this international break in November with 2 clean sheets. They can do with that, and I think that they are capable of doing that. So Croatia to win 2-0, 165.
Well, Armenia screwed it up for Wales, Danny, with that draw, actually. So they've been
took 4 points. Yes, they took 4 points. They were really the unpredictable team of the team that changed all the complexion. But yes, I think there's only one scenario that could make things difficult for Croatia. If Wales scores early in the game against Turkey and they're still 0-0 after 20 minutes against Armenia, they could get nervous because they need to obviously to better Wales' result because of the head-to-head. But really, I can't see Croatia not winning here. They done the job really well against Latvia. As always, Croatia don't seem to have a goal scorer. Kramaric scored 1 goal every 3 games with the national team, 27 in total. Budimir, who plays for Osasuna, only 1 goal with the national side. Perisic, who's their top goal scorer, is injured. But, you see Modric playing well with the Croatian side. Brozovic still pulling the string, and you think they still got something in them. At some point, it will catch up. At some point, it will be evident that they haven't got any fuel in the tank, but so far is going well. The defense is young for Croatia. The strikers are getting on a bit, Modric and Brozovic as well. So let's see when the new generation of players emerge. But the defeat against Turkey at home was the first one in 18 qualifying matches. So to come back to the other defeat, you need to go to 2016 when they lost to Portugal. I cannot see them losing. Armenia, on the other hand, no clean sheets in the last 16 games. The last 2 away games, they lost to Latvia 2-0 and to North Macedonia 3-1. I think they're going to be goals here, especially Wales takes the lead early. Croatia have to go on and try to score a few over 2.75 goals for me, 181. By the way, if Croatia doesn't win, finish second, they will be in path A of the playoffs.
Mateo Kovacic is out, also injured, the Man City player. And the other game in this group that Danny mentioned is Wales-Turkey. Still some options for Wales, but they drew against Armenia, so most probably they will go to the playoffs, Danny. And even, let's see if they are able to win this game. There are good odds to back Turkey somehow here. We saw a friendly game, and they were able to beat Germany in this international break.
Now, for Wales, this one is all about building momentum. You want to get into the playoff in March on the back of a win rather than a defeat. That's what it's all about, and the manager of Wales said it very clearly. The result against Armenia at the weekend is disappointing because they lacked conviction, a bit of guile. It was a must-win game, and to be fair, Wales never looked like they were about to win. I know they are unbeaten in 5, but yes, those draws and that bad result cost them. At the reverse fixture, they lost 2-0 against Turkey. They will be playing the playoff semi-final at home against one of Finland, Ukraine, and Iceland, and then the final against either Poland or Estonia. So things don't look too bad for Wales, but they need to make sure they get there with the confidence very high. Turkey, on the other hand, doing really well since Montella has been appointed, will probably be in pot 2 in the draw. So if they win here,
they are confirmed in pot 2, I think.
They are confirmed.
They are confirmed.
So
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Which is good, which is good for them. That means they could avoid potentially some of the big games. But every group in the Euro is pretty much balanced. They won in Germany at the weekend in Berlin. That was Julian Nagelsmann debut. Played in Berlin. I wonder who chose Berlin for a game against Turkey and Germany. It wasn't a great choice because Turkey basically played at home. And by the way, this is gonna be a factor at the Euros. In Germany there is a large contingent of Turkey national living there. I think it's going to be interesting to see them playing in that tournament. But they play well against Germany despite everything. They scored 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, in 10 minutes in the first half. Then Germany restored, equalized, and then they scored the winner. Something to highlight. First goal with the national team in his debut for Yildiz, 18 years old, plays at Juventus, scoring his debut. And Turkey were without Çalhanoğlu, Demiral, Under, Orkan Koku, and Arda Güler. They have a good squad. If they make sure they don't make those mistakes of experience that they did at the back of the Euros, they could be the dark horse. Once again, Turkey Asian handicap plus 0.25, 205. If they win, you win. If they draw, you win half a stake.
First, they are the dark horse, like Serbia, no? Then they are the big disappointment. But for this game, perhaps it's good to go for Turkey, Alvaro, if we want some money.
I'm going to go for the goals market. I mean, Turkey, playing with no pressure, I think that's a good thing for them. They got a lot of talent. It's true that good players are missing. There is no player in the big 5 leagues that I've got more expectations to watch than Arda Güler, the Real Madrid player, who, by the way, scored a beautiful goal against Wales in the reverse fixture. But unfortunately, he is not available yet, and who knows, maybe he won't be available for a month or so. But yeah, this game is important for Wales. They need to win, and they need Croatia not to win. It's too much to hope for, but Wales has to do the job, and they have to do their job, and they have to win this game, and they have to go at it. And that's why I think that the game is going to be quite open up. Wales, I think that we tend to think that they have a good squad because we recognize a few players from the Premier League, but in all reality, that's a little bit Anglo-centric. I think that some of the Wales players, or many of them, are not dominant in their clubs. They are fringe players in Premier League side and the championship side as well. And altogether, they don't make a good mix yet. And I wonder if they will ever make a good mix. So, Turkey is confirmed in pot 2. Turkey has been scoring a decent amount of goals. So I'm going to go for both teams to score, which pays 175. Wales is going to attack. They are going to get their goal. But Turkey is going to find plenty of spaces. Or otherwise, over 2.25 goals, which pays very similarly, 170.
Good enough. Turkey to win, as Oliver is telling us, pays so well. 3.4 if someone is looking for outsider bet. This could be yours. Turkey to win pays very well. Next game, nothing to play for, but still a good game. Greece, France, also good odds if you are backing the Greeks. 6.0 for them to win. They will be in the playoffs. Actually, normally they should have an easy path to qualify for the Euros. Kazakhstan and then Georgia or Luxembourg playing against France. France scored 14 against a team like Gibraltar, and for instance, a player like Eduardo Camavinga got injured because he was training hard for a tough game as the one they played against Gibraltar. We saw a couple of years ago also Lewandowski getting injured, I think was against Faroe Island or Luxembourg.
Yes.
Well, Alvaro, how do you see this one? Would you put your money on Greece, building up, as Danny was saying, building up a story behind them before they go to these playoffs?
Between Greece and France, I think that is little to play for to start with. I mean, because Greece is in the playoffs, France is first. I think that the game is going to be a little bit. It will depend on how seriously both are taking it. There's nothing to play for, really. I know that in Greece a couple of players have been added last minute, like Singaras from PAOK and Zeka too. And for the French national side, I wonder if any player will like to enhance their statistics here. The manager may not, Deschamps may not field his strongest side right now and keep on giving chances to younger players or to some players who haven't had so many opportunities. So this game is a tricky one. I think that personally I'm going to wait for the lineup. And if Mbappe is in it, I'm going to back him to score because that pays 2.1. And I think that the value is pretty decent for Mbappe to score 2.1. He's only 10 goals away, by the way, from Thierry Henry. From Olivier Giroud, who is the highest ever French scorer. And I think that Mbappe is going to break his record like in a couple of years' time. So maybe here he's got an opportunity to score his goal. Otherwise, France to score over 1.5 goals. I like this one a lot, 1.7. I think that if France takes a decent approach and they try to attack and all that, it can be feisty. I know that Greece can be defensively okay, as they saw against the Netherlands, at least in one of the games, but still, France to score over 1.5 goals, 1.70.
Good point about Mbappe, also because he's only one goal away, Danny, from the top scorers in these qualifications, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lukaku, both with 10 goals. Mbappe, he scored a hat-trick against Gibraltar, has 9 goals.
Yes, that could be one of the motive of this game, but really there isn't much at stake apart from Greece to make sure they don't get heavily defeated or they get a draw or a win, just to build up momentum especially. But yes, France will do turnover. They're already secured place in pot 1, so yes, this is a dead rubber for them. But also, if you look at the French squad, you might think, okay, there are some players that might want to fight for a spot in the team here, but I think the team of France is pretty much done, really. There isn't much doubt about who's going to make it, not make it. Now, there is no Chouameni, no Camavinga. They're both injured. The only doubts are, is Nkunku going to go if he's fit? Maybe not. Is Diaby going to go to the Euros if he continues to play well with Aston Villa? And then the one who might drop are Tobido, Disasi, Klaus in place of Konate, Pavard, Mendy, who got small injuries and not in the squad. But other than that, I think the 23-man squad is pretty much done. Whether it's going to be Dembele, he's not going to be there. But yeah, there isn't much doubt about it. So I'm not sure how much of an effort the France players might make, considering the team is already pretty much settled. But yes, I mean, nobody wants to end the qualifiers with a defeat. The first fixture finished only 1-0 to France. For me, it's an under 2.5 goals here. Under 2.5 goals, 191.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the last game we are going to analyze is also kind of a friendly game between Romania and Switzerland. Group I, both are qualified, still fighting for the spot number 1 for topping this group, with Romania, of course, playing at home. The draw is enough, but we have very good odds, Danny, in this game. That's why I also wanted to highlight it. This one, if you are back in Romania, somehow you are going to get really good odds. I believe that it's important for Switzerland because if they win, they might be in another pot. Right now, they are in pot number 4 in the Euro. Therefore, they will have a tougher group.
That's correct. And at the moment, Romania are in pot 2. Who tops this group automatically goes to pot 2 or pot 3, and the other one goes to pot 4. Yes, your draw is going to be more tough, of course, comes the 2nd of December. In tournament football, the draw is very, very important. So these things don't have to be underestimated, as well as the ranking for the next qualification. There is a lot at stake, even if both are qualified. Romania, by the way, are unbeaten in 10 games, and they improved a lot since the last World Cup qualifiers, when they finished third in the group behind North Macedonia. At the weekend, they won against Israel. A return for Yanis Yagi with a goal is very, very important. He's He's a player that had a few injuries during his career. The son, of course, of the great Yagi, but he's a good player. It could be important. Switzerland drew 5 of the last 6, only 1 clean sheet against Andorra in 7 games. They used to be much more solid, and this is a team that is getting on a bit, still relying on Serdan Shakiris up front. They got a couple of players well over 30, not a great goal scorer in the side, apart from Okafor, who's in and out of the Milan side. Maybe this is a chance for Burnley's Zeke Amdouni, 6 goals in 8 games with the national side, or maybe Dan Doye, who plays for Bologna. Difficult to see here Switzerland going to Romania and snatching the 3 points. I love the double chance, 1x, 192 for the home side, who will probably finish top of the group.
There is a lot of value on Romania, Alvaro. Switzerland 3 consecutive draws. They weren't able to beat even Kosovo at home.
Yeah, I missed what Daniele said about the Switzerland and Romania. None of them can be in pot 1, eh?
No, none of them. But
yeah.
Pot 2, it goes between 2, 3, and 4. At the moment, I think who tops the group goes pot 2, then the other one pot 4.
Yeah, but the top one, which is something that Switzerland might have dreamt of at some point, is out of the equation. I mean, they just can't. They just can't. And I think that, as I said before, yesterday I was thinking when I was preparing this show that maybe Romania's qualification was the most newsworthy thing from this group stage. But again, Romania at least played it in 2016, but Serbia qualifying after 24 years not being there is quite a big thing, really, even though they play World Cups. I'm totally aware of that, but it's very weird that they haven't been in the Euro for 24 years. Romania, look, they beat Israel in the last game, coming back, which always adds a little bit of importance to your win, and also it makes it more flashy, perhaps, with Hagi and Puskás scoring the goals. And I'm very glad personally that the statue is still there, because he's a player that I believe that has played really well over the last 10 years, not only in Euro 2016, but after that. And in the Czech Republic, he has been one of the best players in the league. Then he left that league, and now he plays not in Europe, but still he's important for the Romanian side. And when it comes to Switzerland, yes, I mean, they don't have a great scorer. Okafor is not starting a lot of games for Milan. Then Seferovic is a player that they still rely on, but not the most convincing, perhaps. In fact, against Kosovo, it was Vargas who scored the winning goal. And Switzerland should have won a little bit more comfortably against Kosovo, had the chances, but at the same time, I don't understand why Kosovo's goal was ruled out. Was missing a little bit of context there, because I don't think that there was offside. There must have happened something in the build-up of that attacking sequence for the Kosovarian team. But anyway, this game for me, since there is no pressure whatsoever, because both sides are qualified for the Euros, maybe this is a goal feast. I want to think that there is a certain talent up front for both sides. If Shaqiri has his day, he can be dangerous as well. So I'm gonna hope for the best. Over 2.5 goals, 195 here.
Hope, indeed. For Mustafa, this is a goalless draw. We saw a lot of goals in the reverse fixture. It was lost by Romania, but they scored 2 late goals, and at the end they grabbed a draw. Very important to top this group. At the end, we have Israel here. In the 3rd spot, they will go to the playoffs. They will probably face perhaps Ukraine, perhaps Iceland. We will see. But they are in the playoffs. Well, this is it. Our road to the Euro comes to an end. Still, we will be back. I think it's in March, the playoffs.
Yep.
So for sure we will be here. Danny, I hope it's not with
Italy.
I
hope I don't have to talk about Italy.
But Andriy just will get angry. So best of luck to every team here that we are analyzing. In the meantime, Danny, tell me your safe bet.
I'm going to go for England, who plays in Skopje against North Macedonia. Asian handicap minus 1.5. They told me the pitch is terrible there. There are stones. It's a bad state. Italy struggled there, but I think England's going to do the job. 150, minus under 1.5 for the Asian handicap.
Well, we were so disappointed by England, sorry, only beating 2-0 Malta. I think we went for an Asian handicap -3 or -3.5 for
Guilty.
England.
It was me.
Yeah.
I mean,
England will be in pot number 1, of
sure.
course, in this
well,
Euros.
unless they lose 9-0, 8-0, and Turkey wins 10-0, yeah, that'd be important.
Germany, Portugal, France, Spain, Belgium, and England will be in pot 1. Alvaro, your safe bet?
Yeah, my safe bet will be Asian handicap -0.25 for France, 145.
Alvaro, you have to come back to Greece. Be careful with your bets. And
the
Yoraka?
I made sure that my wife is very far away from this part of my house. My ACA is the following: Albania to win the second half, Croatia to win the second half, Asian handicap -0.25 for France, Romania, Switzerland over 2 goals, altogether 450.
We didn't talk about the Albania Faroe Island also playing this Monday. Danny, Yoraka?
I got it in my ACA. Albania, Faroe under 3 goals. Ukraine, Italy over 2 goals. Netherlands, Asian handicap -4 against Gibraltar, and Romania, Asian handicap +0.75, total odds 6.
I'm gonna check the odds. Netherlands to beat Gibraltar 1.03. Of course.
It's 1.01, so you can make some money there.
Yeah. Safe bet for Andrejos is Ukraine to score a goal. He's ready.
I agree with you.
Let's see what happens in this Ukraine-Italy, the best game for sure, most interesting game, but also Slovenia, Kazakhstan, Czech Republic, Moldova, still many spots to be confirmed for this Euro 2024 in Germany. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Alvaro. Best of luck to everyone.
Oh.
See you.